Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie. If you are new here, I do all kinds of lifestyle vlogs, motherhood videos, things like that, but I also share our personal finance journey with you guys. Today, I'm in my favorite spot again, almost 35 weeks pregnant and feeling it. If I don't cut out all the deep breaths coming, just know that I literally can't breathe anymore. Today, I'm gonna go through with you my December budget recap. We'll go through how the month went, what went well, what didn't, and then we'll also just kind of do like a year-end chat. I'll show you like where our savings is at, where our debt is at, things like that. So if you're interested in that, just keep on watching. How are you guys feeling about the new year when it comes to like everything? I feel like it's hard for me to recognize that it's a new year because I'm having a baby either at the end of this month or beginning of next month, very beginning of next month. So I'm just like, I feel like I'm in this like alternate universe right now. I did a goals video, which I can link here, but I just feel like I'm so out of it that I'm like, what? Like, what is happening? Okay, she's ready to go. Here is what my budget looked like in December. We'll go through it. So it looks very exciting. $1,400 additional than I was expecting. I will say that I had to bring in a couple $100s over for my iPad from my savings account. Is this even straight? I don't know. You guys bear with me. This next month, January, just love me for who I am, not for what I do, okay? Some of that is savings. And then I got about $700, which is what I would have made in January from the freelance job that I had that I no longer have. And they paid me out at the end of the year just to be done with me, I guess. In a very kind way, I promise. I did get a YouTube payment, and then I did get a knife set from a company, and it was easier for them to send me a PayPal payment, and then I paid for it out of my account, if that makes sense. I don't know. So that's what like all that income is, but it's not all like actual income. Like the $700 I moved over to my January budget, so I didn't even use it this month. $794.95 extra for Ben's income, and that's because we got a cash grant. I've explained this in other videos, but he gets these for another year, I think, every quarter, so that I just don't budget for it at all because I always want to put this directly in savings unless we have a reason not to. As for rollover, I did actually roll over some money this month. We got a little bit of stuff. So a $100 check from my mom that I also rolled over to January because she gave it to us to have like a last date night before we have a baby, which was very unexpected and very kind of her. I got a little bit of interest, literally 18 cents, credit card cash back for $38. So we brought in $11,986.61, remembering about 500 of that was from savings, almost $2,000 extra than we were anticipating between just like my income coming in early and not what it's going to be in the future, at least like in the near future. Hopefully we'll figure out our money stuff soon, but for right now, I'm not worried about it. Today, I'm not worried about it. Yesterday, I was worried about it. So all of these are fairly normal. I'll call it the ones that we didn't do correctly. So this one is a little bit off because I didn't know that the price went up. This one is a little bit off because Ben bought a YouTube movie, or we bought one like a Christmas movie or something to watch. This one is a tiny bit off because Ben bought a couple random things. Everything else is right on point. This section, my business expenses, is gonna change unless I get another client next year, but I won't know until April or like March or April. I'm gonna keep these separated in my January budget if you already saw my January reset, which I can link in the cards. We are keeping most of this stuff. Did cancel TubeBuddy. We also canceled Spotify, so that didn't come out this month. Our Notion went up $4 a month, this area. So big thing was my iPad and tools for it, keyboard, cover. Procreate was like an app that I bought that I have yet to use, so I'm annoyed with myself about that one, but thankfully it's like a year-long app. I don't pay for it monthly. I had a couple of like lunches for work and coffee shops, just a couple. The knife set, like I said, I technically paid for out of here, but they gave me the money, so I didn't pay for it actually. It looks very over budget, but that's just because I didn't put in the iPad stuff. So to be honest, it's not over budget at all. So we spent $3,989.79 in fixed expenses. Basically the iPad is what threw us off. For our debt, that's all the same. Currently We are just paying minimums on our student loan debt and cars. We have one car. Okay, moving on to this section, we were actually almost $900 under budget in our variable expenses, so that's good. I will say this should actually be over budget, but I apparently paid my credit card bill too many times in December, so they wouldn't let me put the payment through until January 1st. So I'll explain that to you in a minute. So we did technically go over in this budget, but it doesn't look like it, even though we did. We were under budget at Costco. We were over budget on restaurants. I know I was proud of myself. Everybody was proud of me last month, but we did go over budget because we had a couple of like bigger meals out. Normally we only do one, but we got Thai food. We got some mall food one time that was like $40 for the two of us, and it was not even good, but it was one of those like we didn't have a choice. We had to feed ourselves an Ivy. We went to Mego, or we've gotten Indian food twice, and then there's like smaller things in there, but it was just because a lot of these were like more expensive than normal, like $48, $38, like that kind of thing. Under budget on supplements, very under budget on household, but you'll see that we're extremely over budget in another category that probably could have covered some of that stuff, but I was just trying to be like honest about it. Normally we're not this under budget, otherwise I would never like keep household looking like that. Over budget on beauty because I did get my nails done twice this month, and one of the times was a pedicure, so we were over quite a bit on that. And then I had something from Black Friday that came through late on my card from November, and then Ben bought his shaving cream and soap. Also, we're over budget on personal spending. This was actually all Ben. It wasn't me, which is totally fine. I'm usually the overspender in the relationship, and he didn't like go crazy or anything. He just got a couple of really nice things. We went to Sierra and he got some stuff, which Sierra is like my new favorite store now. A couple of things on sale from LL Bean. I think the Old Navy one is for Ivy, not for him. And then he got a very expensive wolf sweatshirt. It was either the $75 thing. I think it was a $75 thing. So that was pretty expensive, but he's like obsessed with it. It was from like a local Native American shop. It was important to him, and that's what we got. But I didn't budget for that because I wasn't intending to buy stuff this month for that outside of like gifts. We were under budget on doctors because we had hit our deductible, so we didn't really have to pay anything outside of like specialty. We were under budget on utilities, which is great. Under budget on car, under budget on dog food. I did lower some of these if you watched my January like reset video, just because we are consistently kind of under budget on them. And then miscellaneous I also lowered, but we did not spend that much. In fact, the $11.70 is something that's off that I don't know what it is. This section. So this is what I was talking about with the household section. We were almost double over on holidays. I think I talked about this in a different video. Cannot grasp how expensive things are, just like in general. All of Ben's gifts came out of my credit card. Ben bought me all of my gifts, so like $250 of that is like my gifts to Ben and Ben's gifts to me. We got a couple of gifts for Ivy. We gave my family $100 for them to come and stay down here for Christmas, or for Ivy's birthday party. We got gifts for Peter, Francesca, Tim, and Terry. It was like this food brand that Ben likes that was like $100. I sent money to my sister for her birthday decor for Ivy's birthday party. I bought a charcuterie board for my sister-in-law for Ivy's birthday. Dunkin' gift cards, I spent like $75 on that. Anniversary gift, it was actually our like engagement anniversary, so Ben bought me a little something from Target, and then he also bought me a Lululemon gift card that he's turning on. Do we think we can keep going? As far as savings, we were able to put almost $2 grand away, which is great. 800 of that is the cash grant that came through, and then the rest is just additional income that we had. Now, I will also say, as you can see, so we put that away in savings, and then I also rolled over $1,100. And that is because that one grocery bill that I told you I didn't get to pay. So technically we were $200 over budget here, but I rolled that money over so that I could pay that. $700 is the income of mine that I rolled over. A $100 check from my mom for us to go on a date night. I rolled over to next month. So that equals the $1,111.49. So that is the budget. Sorry that the heat is on. I literally can't do anything about it. Then if we want to look at my savings and debt tracker here, just to like round out the year, there's a lot happening. I talked about it in my January budget with me. I'll probably be able to explain a bit more at the end of January. Well, except I'll be giving birth, so I'm not really sure when that video is gonna go up. This is where we're at the end of the year. So about $6,400 left on our car loan. Got about $9,000 left on one of Ben's loans. $7,000 left on another one of Ben's loans. One thing that I don't have in here is this interest rate went up like 2.5% to like 8% or something like that, which is super annoying. That was when we were trying to pay off, like hoping that one would pay itself off quicker, but that wasn't fun to find out. And then my 2 student loans are much bigger. So I have about $15,000, almost $16,000 left on my government loan and almost 30 grand left on my like regular loan. So we still have about $68,593.69 of debt. If you guys remember, a few of you have asked about this before, and I have kind of stopped talking about it just because it was preference of people involved, but we do technically still have a personal loan out. If you guys were following us, we had a lot of credit card debt when we wanted to move back here, but we literally could not afford to live here with those payments. We had some family chip in and loan us money to pay off those cards so that we could move here. And then there was never any like strict timeline or anything put on it, and I wasn't involved in the conversation because it was Ben's credit card debt. I wish that there would have been some like more particular timelines and specifications put on it, but it was kind of just like left in the air that I believe, from what I was told, we could pay back when we could pay it back. So with that, we have not made any payments on it because we didn't have the income and we were trying to build up our savings, and they told us that we didn't need to pay it back. I will say there was like this tiny little piece of me that was like, maybe they're never gonna let me, or never gonna make us pay it back, but I think I always knew that there would be like some that we would have to pay back. One of the things I'm a little bit unsure about is like when they're gonna want that money back. I'm afraid if we decide to like move away from this area that we will be expected to then pay that back, because that will affect the people that gave us the money. They want us to stay here for sure. I don't really know. We have to figure that out. There's a lot to it, and by we I mean Ben and his family members need to figure that out. But right now, like at least in the beginning of the year, we do not have any extra funds to be paying them back. They're not asking us to pay it back quite yet. I would like for there to be some more strict like actual conversations around that. So I'm hoping that that's something we can do this year, because I don't like being in limbo. As far as savings, we ended the year with about $21,000 in personal savings, which is amazing. Super grateful for that. We do have very high expenses, so I would like this to be much bigger. Plus we would love to put a down payment on a home. We would never put like a large down payment on a home. We would put the smallest down payment that would make sense for us, just because that's what we believe and have been encouraged to do if we do so. But with that, we don't want to like drain our savings or anything. We were still trying to build our savings. When we moved to this house, we lost about 9 grand for the move, just things that we weren't expecting, having to replace things. We were able to recuperate about half of that we lost because it came out of our savings. We had a little bit over $25,000 in savings, and we're ending the year with $21,000. Now I will say I'm a little nervous with like not having a job, losing all the income that I've talked about in all of my other videos. There's a chance that we will have to dig into this personal savings. Now, the other thing that I have is 4 grand of business savings. I currently keep these separate because I pull savings over every month for taxes. Last year we did not have to pay in anything because I didn't make enough. We actually made money, like we got a tax return last year. I am very hopeful that that happens again, because if it does, we've already been taxed on this money, so this money will move into our savings, which will put us at about 25,000, which is great. And then if we need to pull money over the next few months while we figure out this like much less income that we're gonna have, we will have that money. So I'm really hopeful that at the beginning of this year, we will get to keep this. We will get a tax return, and Ben will get either a bonus and or a promotion. So we'll see, but we won't know any of this stuff until, again, like the new client too is like an April thing. So I feel like Q2, there goes the heat, like April is when we will know what's going on for the rest of the year. Moving on, car debt. So these debts I just have split out. So we have about $64,000 or $6,400 on our car left. And then these are our student loans just like separated out. So I have about $45,504 in student loan debt, and Ben has about $16,671 of student loan debt. That is where we are ending off the year as far as savings and debt goes. I hope you enjoyed seeing a look into what our income is looking like at the end of the year, where we're at, how things are going. I feel like even though we were over budget on a few things, especially gifts, which I wish that we wouldn't have been, but we still were able to put over $1,000 into savings, which is really, really good. Almost 2,000, like I said. So I feel like that feels really good going into the new year, especially knowing that these first few months might be a little wonky until we like figure out what's going on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am gonna go and chill a little bit while Ivy naps, move positions so I can actually breathe, and I will see you in the next video.